I'm Richard Heffner, and I am usher a lot at the 9:30 service here at Brook Hill. But my story is that during my 34 years as a Lutheran, I was doing some searching, and the Lutheran preachers and I didn't agree on some of the things that were coming out of the King James Bible. And I started to search, and I ended up in a New Life Foursquare church here in town. And I met there every Wednesday night with them. And during that time, I was reading the Bible hard because I hadn't gone all the way through. I was about 36 years old, and I know Jesus died at 33. But anyway, I wanted to get through it at least once in my life. And I'm on the road selling for the company I'm working for as an automotive jobber, going to about 120 accounts a week. And during the time between accounts, I go and pray or listen to the radio on a Christian station. So I have the radio off, and I've asked God several times now to help me to pray and use me in any way He can possibly use me. So this happened several times, and one particular day I'm driving down the road, radio off, and I'm saying, God, use me, whatever you want. And there's a voice. Remember, the radio's off, and I hear a voice in the car that says, pray. Pray now. Pray hard. Okay? I put my foot on the brake, pull the side of the road, put it in park gear, don't cut it off, and I start to pray. I say, God, use me, whatever you want to happen and for this situation, to help whoever's in trouble, help me, wherever it is. And my hands and face went to the ceiling of the car. I didn't control them. They went up to the ceiling of the car, and they got as hot as you can imagine. It's as if I was touching fire. My hands, face, they're just on fire. And it lasted 3 to 7 seconds. Didn't last long. And it calmed down, and I came back down like I am now, and I had to recover. 2 or 3 minutes in the car, no other noises. The car was still okay. There was no fire in the car, and I went back to work. I went to my next stop, and on my next visit to the New Life Foursquare, pastor asked, what exciting happened this week? Well, I raised my hand and told this story. Well, another lady over there and another lady over here said, what happened to me? It happened to me. And what time did it happen? And I said, well, it was on a Thursday, and it was about 2:20. Same time as us. We heard somebody else do this. So it turns out there was 4 of us with the exact same experience at the exact same time, not knowing that it was happening. So it turns out that another parishioner, a man that I dealt with as one of my accounts at the time, was working on a car. That was his job. And in those days, carburetors were the thing, and he was trying to make a car cough back through the carburetor to burn out the carbon that builds. It's a lot cheaper than to having to go through a carburetor. Anyway, he bent over top the carburetor, did it, and the fire from the cough back went into his face, because it wasn't doing that before, and it did this time, and it caught his facial hair, beard, mustache on fire, burned his nose hairs, eyelashes, eyebrows, and his face was still red, probably like mine is now. And anyhow, they took him to the ambulance, and he was fine. And it turns out it was 2:20 in the afternoon when this all happened. Long story short, with all 4 of those people and this man happening, all part of the same church. I'm not saying that's the best church, because Jesus is control, but it happened to me. I've experienced it. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Trust Him. He's there. Every time I tell the story, even to this day, even now, I get goose pimples on my arms about what God has done. You can't tell me He doesn't exist. He's there.